It's time for Hot Topics on the Rocks with Alexander.
That's
Better
hot.
pour yourself another.
This is hot. That's hot. That's hot. This is really hot. That's hot.
So hot, you guys. Okay, here's our hot topic. There is a theater, I won't say which one, on the West Coast that announced their new production of Into the Woods. Well, they announced this production. It's a big theater. They were vilified because the entire cast was as white as milk. People in the theater industry and theater goers said, how can they possibly not have a racially diverse cast in today's day and age? After being attacked on social media by other people in the industry, some of the cast members quit when this became an issue. They literally just announced that their first production post-COVID is canceled, and they apologize for the gaffe, and they're going to be working on some of their diversity ideals within the theater company. So here's kind of the flip side of that. All theaters are struggling after COVID. Now with their first production being canceled, who knows when they can start making money or if they can even reopen. Now it's on the table that they may not be reopening. It's been a theater that's been in existence for years and years and years, has also helped with the arts program locally. Here's a hot topic. Should we be demanding cast be racially diverse? Should we be shutting down productions that aren't? And I have a few devil's advocate things to say to that. And I realize that I'm talking to two very white as milk people, but this is the perspective I want because you could have been cast in this musical. And Alexa, you did play The Witch in Into the Woods. And I have to admit, as a brown person, when they announced the cast, that's not where my mind immediately went to. But it is something that we should be considering. And now the actors are out of a job. It was an all equity show. Actors are out of the job. The theater might not reopen. I want to know what your take on this is. And I know it's kind of like a big subject, so you can take whatever aspect you want.
No, I can speak to this. I think, and totally acknowledging that, I'm a very white person. Oh, I have a bruise. I had no idea I had a bruise.
That does not make you mi gente.
It still makes me very white. But I think it's a shame that production had to close, but I also think it's a shame that they would put on a show that is so incredibly easy to not cast all white.
I mean, it's a fairy tale.
It is so incredibly easy to do a not all white Into the Woods. As a matter of fact, after Bernadette left, didn't Felicia Rashad go into the show? And like in the original production.
Leslie Uggams as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, and I mean, it's wrong no matter when it's happening. I look around the world and I don't see all of my friends aren't white. That's just not what the world looks like to me. So I don't think that that's what should be on stage. Janine Tesori always says you have to see it to be it, and I think that we really have to believe in that. I think as an industry, we're being asked to have these conversations and to do something, to do better. In the wake of things like George Floyd, I think it's kind of unacceptable to do a show like Into the Woods that has been done since the year one, or at least since 1988, all white. I think that, it's kind of silly to have an all white television show at this point. So why not? Why would you, And I think that the root of the problem here is not on the actors. I hate blaming actors for things that happen at the top of particularly theater companies and management and project.
For sure, 100%.
Not the actors' fault. They have to swim in capitalism. They took a job. Now, if there's a person of color in a position of power at that theater, they might have been like, whoa, what cast list are you about to post? Like, there might have been someone, and that sucks because then that's on them, and all these stupid white people probably are making decisions that eventually could shutter a theater over something that is just kind of wrong. But I'm just like, if it shutters your theater, then I guess we learn from that mistake.
But how many people?
I don't know that it's a travesty.
But how many people is it putting out of a job? This could be some of the actors' first work in a long time. Also, if you don't want to see an all-white cast of Into the Woods, don't go to the show. Don't support the theater. Just don't go. A few other things happened later, but I don't want to make this topic murky. Plus, we also don't know who auditioned. It's an all-equity production. We don't know the percentage of people of color that auditioned. We know Into the Woods is a vocally challenging show. If you can't hit the notes, you can't hit the notes no matter what. And I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't know. Alexa, I want to know your take having played the witch.
Yeah. It can't be an all-white production. And especially Into the Woods. This is a fairy tale world. Anybody can play anything. So, yeah, to shutter a theater, I mean, there's got to be some other things going on. I mean, you know, you can cancel a show and not shutter a theater company down. But I don't have anything to say except there's no excuse for that. You have to do better. I could give you a list of students and friends that could be in this show right now. And to be honest, with the whole like losing their job thing, that sucks. But like, I can't tell you how many jobs I've like lost, right? Like, oh, that show's not happening. That's like, I mean, that's being an
that is
actor.
part of the business. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but like, that's what happens. But like, yeah, that's just not okay.
Well, and now every theater, whether it's a community theater, whether it's a college theater, whether it's a civic light opera, whether it's, you know, regional, now everybody is like, holy crap, let's look at our cast list. Let's look at our cast, because now everybody's, you know, afraid.
But I have to say, it's not about just casting actors in roles. It's about having understanding. And this is not like, you know, yes, now finally this is being brought to light, but this is an age-old thing here, right? Like, it's about equality, inclusion, right? Not just about having a diverse cast. It's about inclusivity and having an equal playing field. So it's not just like, oh, we have 2 African Americans in our cast. Like, that's not a diversity initiative. That's not taking action. That's optics. And so I'm not okay with that either. Like, you have to practice what you preach. And if you don't know how, you have to educate yourself and you have to do better.
Well, and this has been a conversation for many, many years. My first experience hearing about diverse casting was when Audra McDonald was in Carousel, and it was the biggest topic. It's like, oh, wow, they cast a black person in this role. We've never seen Carousel like this, and it was such a big topic. And, of course, you know, we know she did so well from that, and her career, you know, went on from that. So how many years and years and years ago was this kind of topic? You know, in Devil's Advocate, are we going to cast a black Evita then? Is that what should be done next? Should we worry about that?
Already cast a white one. You know, like
a white one who can't sing.
Know, Patti LuPone played the part originally and to a fabulous effect, but she is a white woman. She's Italian. She's not Latina. And like,
they're close enough.
Well, I mean, like, I just think. The thing about it is it's just like the obvious thing that we're saying is that there have been like every role, every major role in every musical that you can probably think of, except for maybe Evita, has been earmarked for white people for 100 years. So it's like that's what we're fighting. We're fighting that history that is, you know, so unfair, just kind of in its own existence. Not to mention the gender disparity, and I mean. It's just like the lack of most stories we tell on Broadway are very white and very cis, and they're very misogynistic in a lot of ways, and they're extremely racist in a lot of ways. I mean, even Rodgers and Hammerstein, while writing South Pacific, didn't manage to be completely not racist. They still were a little racist in writing a show about not being racist, you know.
Well, it was really indicative of that culture as well. But, you know, Brandon, then we cast somebody actually Latina in Evita, and then we got Elena Rodger.
There was somebody else. Come on. It's not just Elena Rodger, and poor Elena Rodger. I'm sure she's a very nice woman. I'm sure she's
very nice.
Damn, that was boring. Oh,
that's even like, being nice. It's like,
I would
girl.
rather watch Patty phone it in from a chaise lounge in Connecticut on Zoom.
From P-Town, right?
Right? Somebody like a stage manager with a flip phone could come out on stage and she could sing it from Town Hall in P-Town in street clothes. I mean, I would watch Patty sing just about anything in that format, and I think that this is a missed opportunity. Where the hell, like, we've got dark Broadway theaters. What the fuck? Like, just put Patti LuPone on an iPhone. Patti LuPone on an iPhone. Produced by Brandon James Gwinn. I mean,
we know how much she loves cell phones.
See,
yeah.
I'm on board.
All right. Well, that was our hot topic for this episode.